Hey, welcome back to Black Medium. I'm the host here, Gold Will.
With your boy Electronic Jack, aka Linwood Storm, aka the Mac with the facts from Black Grindhouse, coming at you live.
See how long that was? I took a whole hit.
I sped it up. Like serious. Like you tired, I'm hungry. We gotta get through this.
You should
All
be
right?
eating more. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. I don't know what's wrong with all of y'all. How do you people not eat? I eat all the time.
You mean vegans or just people in
Just
general?
people in general. What's wrong with you people? How do you forget to eat?
We're busy.
The fuck out of here. I'm busy too.
You can walk and eat.
Shit, I've eaten 3 slices of pizza just in the last 30 minutes.
That's because you're fat.
Now I'm self-conscious about that. You know better than this.
What's worse is that you actually skinny. I've seen the moms like.
I burn off a lot of calories. I burn off damn near 1,000 every day. So, it's just impossible for me to retain weight. Otherwise, I'd have to seriously overeat, like pack on the calories. And
I wish I could do that. I'm trying to build weight. Duran's 210. I'm like 176. I'm trying to get up there, but it's like no matter how much I eat, I'm still stuck at maybe between 177 and 180 on a good day.
count your calories. I mean, for me, I've been stuck at 160 for the last year, but that's because, well, not even the last 2 years. I've been at 160 because the post office helped me drop 50 pounds for when I was in my fat boy era.
I mentioned that I was going to count my calories, and she called me a woman. So
I don't understand.
I'm not going to be shamed, though. I'm not going to be shamed.
Fucking gender binaries. Only women count calories, or only women drink fruity drinks. I drink my fruity tootie whenever I want to.
I need my green tea.
You know what I mean? Like, I just want to drink. I don't like the taste of alcohol. All right? I don't.
You and
like
me both. You and me both.
Like, it burns. It sucks. All right? Let me have this. I like sugary drinks. I just
you don't have to refer to them as sugary drinks, but anyway, anyway.
So what are we talking about?
What's the topic of discussion? No,
we're talking about writing today. We're talking about writing again. We've actually done a couple casts on writing.
We've done, I believe, 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe the previous one was how to write a black character, and the other one was black creatives. This one, I feel like I'm getting into kind of a touchy territory, bossy, if you will.
Now we're getting somewhere. Yes, controversy.
I mean, yeah, controversy, I guess, if you count being told what to do. Obligations of the black writer.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Obligations. All right.
You are obligated. When you join this club.
Black male character can't do this. Black female character can't do that. No. Have them do as I say.
Right. So, what you call that? I read an article by N.K. Jemisin, or they interviewed N.K. Jemisin, and it said certain things that I really picked up on. One thing is that sci-fi too white. Is it too white? Yes.
How do you define too white?
I mean, does this really need groundwork laid? I mean, a lot of the bones of the genre are built on like predominantly, white filled franchises. Of course, Star Trek is full of different aliens and shit. But
more aliens than Negroes.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But end of the day, protagonist is generally a white person. There's a black person somewhere. There's always the good one.
There's a black person somewhere and they're being minimized on Chinese posters.
Or taken out entirely. If they can get away with it.
Or having their character shrunk, Joss Whedon.
Right. So, but in sci-fi, yeah, it's a predominantly white field. Like there's always going to be a white character here, white character there, protagonist, and different shades of them. But the black people, I said this way back when I started Black Medium. Black people are not represented in a lot of genres, and sci-fi was one of them. And N.K. Jemisin actually had a point where she had shown disinterest in writing the stories she writes. I just finished up The Obelisk Gate just now from the Broken Earth trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic story. No spoilerino, but the main character basically turns into Jean Grey at the end. It's kind of cool. So, what you call it? She writes some fantastically well drawn out story, world building stories with awesome characters and some pretty cool action sequences. And to think that she had thought about not even getting into the fields that she writes because she had never seen black characters in these films. And I know this is like a common thought for a lot of black people who feel creative is that, you know, I don't think a black person would do this, that, or the third. Like, for instance, my favorite example was the space cowboy, the Han Solo type. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I when I was younger, it's just like I don't have an interest in writing a black character as someone that's like Han Solo because I just don't have a point of reference. A lot of a lot of writing and creative work in general comes from pulling in influences from references,
That is
right?
true. Yep.
Right. And when you don't have a reference point of, a black character being in all these really cool and creative roles, it creates a lack of interest. Like, would you
Well,
agree?
a lack of interest as the audience or as the creator.
As a creator, as
I would have
somebody.
to. So here's where I disagree,
Mhm,
or rather, I understand your perspective. So I'm just coming from my own.
mhm,
Growing up, like I said in the thread that Duran posted, I grew up idolizing James Bond
mhm,
and a lot of you know sci-fi anime such as Guyver or Spriggan, and that played a part in the characters that I created, which still remain black. But for me, my frame of reference as far as writing characters just came from how I would want the characters to act or how I would imagine uh characters that I based on certain people would act in these situations. So while I feel like representation is an important aspect when it comes to the science fiction genre, as a creator, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm kind of a narcissist. If something
Goth.
hasn't been done yet, I want to be the one to do
It's just
it. It just wouldn't be fun if sci-fi was full of black characters that I could draw from and be like, nah, you know what? He never do. And I have this I have the same opinion about a lot of uh black creations. I always feel like I can do it better.
mhm,
I feel like, you know what? I could probably execute this in a way that would seem more interesting to someone like myself. You know,
definitely.
so so when I'm looking at like that from the lens of a narcissistic creator, I'm not seeing. This sounds bad. I'm not seeing black and white. I'm seeing, how can I do this in a
Oh, you don't
way
see
that
color.
I never said
Oh,
that. I'm saying,
I
I'm
knew, I
saying
knew, I
it's.
seen that All Lives Matter poster on your wall. I
I'm
knew it.
saying, I'm saying that. Look, if I want a black character on a spaceship, like I said, well, I had 3 notebooks. I'm not sure if I tweeted this or maybe I was tweeting and then I deleted the tweet because of whatever reasons. But I wrote like 3 books and 3 notebooks, multiple chapters about a black space pirate based on myself. And I had this princess who I married in the story, and then I would just keep adding in more characters, and I would get older, and then I had a son in it. So I put myself in that role, or I put who I wanted to be in that role, and I do that a lot. It's called self-insertion, and I have a handful of characters who are just me, just who I want to see, and other characters are just black folks that I feel like should be represented. Like you don't see a lot of black female goth characters. And my first my
Definitely
first
not.
screenplay, The Time Spirit, Kelly, originally she was Latina. Originally she was Mexican. Um, I know I'm
I mean, I
gonna
don't
get
know.
like
I mean, those are both like legitimate terms, so you're fine. I
okay,
mean,
good,
I
because it's
mean,
2021. You don't know who you're gonna offend, but
true.
yeah, and then later she became white, right? I whitewashed my own character because
Oof.
I wanted to create another Latina character who would act as the main character's girlfriend, even though I could have left them both as Latina. And then later on, I saw this cosplay of this black female cosplayer. She was doing what's the girl's name? Maybe it's from the Adams Family or some shit like that. But
You're talking about the matriarch of the Addams family?
it's
Uh,
like a little girl, maybe it's
Wednesday?
not the Adams Family, but I saw the picture and I was like, yo, that's I've never seen like a black
Woman.
female goth character like that in anything that I've watched, you know.
Right. You're talking
Like
about
you
Wednesday
like
Addams.
Sam from Danny Phantom, why couldn't she
Right.
be black? Why couldn't Sam from Danny Phantom be black? So I was like, you know what? Kelly's gonna be black. Kelly's gonna be a black woman who's goth, and we'll make it interesting because I know I have a couple of friends who have uh, who have bettered themselves and they went through shit like cutting themselves and whatnot. So I'll add another layer that black girls can relate to who have those troubles.
I hope make sure you tread the line of that's not exclusively what goth is.
No, no, no. I'm talking when I say goth, I'm talking about the appearance. But yeah, there are definitely girls who aren't goth and cut
Yeah.
themselves.
Right. 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 What you call it? Yeah. And the lack of interest thing, because I know this is another thing that kind of factors into what you decide to write and whatnot is also your peer circles. And this is where I feel like you and me have a little bit of a difference here because you had been homeschooled for a large majority of a lot of your education, right? So you weren't pulling a lot of outside influence from what was popular at the time compared
Yeah,
to
I'd have to disagree because I still had functions at
yeah.
a huge neighborhood full of kids.
I'm
So
saying, did you see these people every day? Jesus Christ.
I lived in the fucking suburbs.
Okay, well, I mean, good,
Like
good.
everybody knew each other. You
I
my
see this
my
shit
like
every day.
my best friends lived across from the street. And then you go over to the next neighborhood. Oh, hey, what's up, Tim? Hey, what's up?
Oh, what a blow up.
What's up, Jared?
Well, yeah, like a lot of the stuff I also was influenced by was what was hot in school, for that time being. I remember in elementary school, I wrote three small stories called Demon, and they were short stories about a guy who was a demon hunter, essentially, went after the monster of the week. And the
Mhm.
stories weren't particularly good or interesting, but I mean, still, it was a white character, and I committed to writing a white character. Yeah, I know. Like the thing is, and I said this in a group post that we had, what you call it? You can't actually no, it wasn't a group post. It was Durant's post where he had said that he had previously idolized all these white characters,
Yeah, that's when I mentioned James
and
Bond. Yeah.
right, and I had been on that post too, and I said you can't blame what you were exposed to, which goes back to my original point. I wasn't exposed to black characters being either the side character who's really cool and possibly has a big gun,
Mhm.
maybe one on his arm. Duran, I'm talking to you. Do you hear me? Okay, you can't run away
You
from this
you you
forever.
can invite him on the cast. It
You
don't hurt to
can't run
ask.
away from Barrett forever. I'm always gonna bring him up. All right. The big burly black character that either is a Mr. T stereotype. Yeah, I'm still
Oh,
bringing
you mean
it
the
up.
tank? The tank. That's what we call him.
Yeah, and follows like a bunch of black stereotypes, or is the calm, stoic, collected black character that honestly I don't like
Really?
anymore. I don't like them anymore. You know how many there are? Mr.
Like
Terrific, John Stewart.
The Django Freeman from Django and Chain type character. I like those.
Like
Like
I
the
said,
quiet but deadly character in the
they're
background.
all
Like,
all the white generated
I'm
black
gonna kill
characters,
you.
all the ones that you want to take seriously,
Okay,
they're
so
all that
here's the
character.
thing. That stereotype exists in martial arts movies as well. Like near the end, before the final boss, you have to fight against this black guy who knows martial arts, and he's very proficient at
Yeah,
kicking your ass.
but
All
he
right,
doesn't
and when
talk.
he's done with you, you can be like, ah, ah.
Right.
I like that stereotype. Let
Or
me keep that stereotype.
he's a trusted guard, but he doesn't really have any political power, and also he doesn't talk. So we didn't write dialogue for him because we don't know what to be offensive. I don't like this. All right,
I'd rather white people not write dialogue for black characters in fear that they'll be offensive than write
no.
something and be
It's
like,
boring
yeah.
as
So then he
shit.
says, "Nigga, you ain't talking."
It's so fucking easy. Like
Not
it's
if you're
so
white.
easy.
Not if you're white.
And it's very easy if you're white. It's so fucking easy. They just walk on eggshells that don't exist.
Not everybody can be Quentin Tarantino.
It's boring as shit. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of Jon Stewart, Blue Marvel, Luke Cage. All these fucking characters act the same. I'm tired. All right. Give me a fuck up like John Constantine. Give me a black Deadpool-esque character. Give me something interesting. Stop making them stoic with personalities like bread. Please give me interesting characters. I'm tired.
I
Okay.
can agree to that because no, it ain't no white person writing Nino Brown. All right.
Like,
Some characters only black folks have the skill to write. I'm sorry, but I'm not
Eddie,
sorry. It's true. All right.
well,
If
we
you have
already had
trouble
that.
writing a black character, have a black person write it for you.
Or just get their input. I mean, it feels weird though, like using black people as a resource like that. Maybe have
I
them be
mean,
your friend first.
I'd rather that than them assume. You know what? Like, go around town, ask every black person, "Hey, what about this?" It reminds me of that. There was a SNL skit that was parodying the that Kylie Jenner commercial.
The Pepsi commercial.
Hey, did you see the commercial? Oh, you thought it was, oh, okay. Well, I'll ask somebody else. Hey, did you see the oh,
Right.
oh.
Like it's definitely not something I like. I actually prefer to have characters with interesting flaws. I don't want the black person to be a super genius. I'm sick and tired of that shit. Like someone's like, "Oh yeah, they're the fourth smartest person on the planet," or "They're the smartest person in the
Like,
universe."
what's that little girl's name in that Marvel
Yeah,
comic
Moon
book?
Girl and Devil
Moon Girl,
Dinosaur. Yeah, she's the smartest character in the
the
Marvel
Avery
universe.
Williams and all that.
And it's like, okay, these are the smartest characters who are like severely underutilized as opposed to literally everyone else.
Well, they become utilized when they need to be utilized.
Right. So like it's quite obvious that maybe characters with flaws is more appealing. Like I said, it's what you're exposed to. And what I was exposed to was a bunch of Japanese animation, Outlaw Star, Inuyasha, Sailor Moon, Voltron, a lot of Gundam Seed, a lot of Gundam Seed, a lot of Gundam Seed.
Too much.
Too much. Gundam Wing, Gundam Seed, Gundam, G Gundam. I have seen so many Gundam series, and I've
So
fallen asleep in all
at
of them.
no point did you think, hey, what if there was a black character in this? At no point did you.
And that's where I started to. I told you about this, the Blackening, where I was
Mhm.
writing my current project right now, the Bastion. And I'm going through the motions again. I'm making characters. I'm giving them interesting backstories. I'm going through all this. And once again, I'm writing white people. This is like the fifth time I've designed a world, and it was mostly white. I was just like, what am I doing? Why? Why am I
Mm-mm-mm.
continuing to make white characters? And I realized I had to analyze myself. It's because I, throughout my life, I've literally only been exposed to white characters. And
I just want to say this. I do believe a lot of it starts at home because my mother was very pro-black. I'm a history major, and used to read these books, and so
I mean,
that probably is the reason why I look
you
at
saying I'm
things a certain
untrained?
way.
You saying I'm not house trained? You coming at my parents, bro? Oh, okay.
Were
Well,
they like that though? Were they like that though?
I'm gonna get my dad on your ass. All right. Oh,
Were- were-
speaking of which, he bought a new car. Can you guess what make it is?
Wait, he bought you a car
No, he
recently?
bought a new car.
Oh, okay.
Can you guess what
I
make it
could hear
is?
about
He bought a Toyota.
that.
He bought a Toyota. He wasn't fucking around. Uh, that was the greatest commercial that never happened. I saw that shit and I was like, he actually really stands by these vehicles. I'll give him that.
Yeah. But you didn't answer my question though. Were your parents like that?
What hardcore history, Black history?
Like Black history, all that in the
Not at
house?
all. No.
See, we had like paintings and masks and everything. So
It's crazy actually, because this is one thing. I grew up Baptist, currently no religion now, but I grew up Baptist. And there's one thing in my mom's house that has come with us through the years. I'm talking about ever since I was little. There is a painting on the wall of the Last Supper, and
white Jesus.
everyone's black. Everyone's black in that painting. This has never been explained, and I've never asked my mom about it, other than a brief conversation we had where I said, "Is this the Last Supper?" And everyone's black. She's like, "Yep," because we're gonna have the real history in this house. That's
I
all.
mean,
That's
it's
all.
a start. It's a start. It's a
Yeah,
start.
but like other than that, we weren't really hardcore blackening, black. Like a lot of my pro-blackness currently is a recent development because once you leave public school, you could actually become a person.
Every time someone would compliment my mother on her locks and refer to them as dreadlocks, my mother would go on this rant like they are not dreadlocks. Dread means dreadful. They are just locks, sir or ma'am.
And you saw me. I also stopped using the word recently.
Yo. I remember. I believe
Mhm.
this white woman called one of my brother's hair nappy, and she just flipped out. Like she flipped out.
He
Like my
doesn't play
kid's
that
hair is
bullshit.
not.
Look, my mom definitely wouldn't play that bullshit either. Neither with my dad. All right, we're on that level.
Yeah, but my mom's crazy. But you got to give her that. You got to give her the pro black tip. So
Right. Like they wouldn't play that bullshit. Okay. But the thing is, in my home, we were just kind of growing up with the environments around us, and my mom and my dad worked hard, and we went from lower class to, middle class. We're middle class right now. You just got their home and everything. But
we.
I mean, look, started from the bottom, but actually, it is good
when
that
you
they
when
just.
you when you say we, do they say we as well,
Well, it is a
referring
we.
to
It is a
them
we.
and you?
It is a we because there is now actual generational wealth that can be passed down. They own house
Nice.
and they own multiple cars.
Generational wealth, bro.
Rock on. So, there is generational wealth. So there is a we. There's a house that can be passed down, and there are cars that can be passed down, and there will be more. Like we keep it all in the family. So, which clan? But when it comes to culture, like I feel like they were very hands off. So a lot of what we were exposed to, other than my dad being a huge Star Wars and Star Trek fan, and I'm a big Star Wars fan myself, the films, not the books, but I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love pretty much all the stuff about the mythos. Even the sequel trilogies have some qualities that I think are all right.
Wait, did you say sequel or prequel? I blacked out.
I, you think you're fucking funny.
You said prequel, right?
I said the sequels have some qualities to them that I like. I'm not getting into this with you.
Go on.
I'm not doing
Go
it.
Go on.
Are you gonna do the? You gonna do the?
Nah. We ain't gonna fight. We ain't gonna fight.
Okay.
You come outside though. We ain't gonna
All right.
fight.
I'll see you. And you know what? I'm trained like Ray, so I know all the abilities now. All right, I know every deadly
I can
ability.
deflect force lightning without getting burnt.
Yep, I can do all of it, and I can revive your ass. So once I'm done beating your ass, I'm gonna bring you back, and I'm gonna beat your ass again. Try it.
You haven't played Knights of the Old Republic 2, have you?
No, I was a
Whew,
fan of.
okay.
I was a fan of the films,
That
but
that's it. Just the films. No
yeah,
video games, no
the
comics, no
animated
nothing.
series too.
Animated series. Okay.
Yeah, but no, none of the books or anything. And yet he's doing the thing. He's doing the thing.
I'm not doing
But
anything. I'm just
he's
like
doing the thing.
I'm just like when people say they're fans of Star Wars, I'm like, how much of a fan
Oh
are you? I'm not a
God,
gatekeeper or anything. Like you can enjoy as much of it as possible. I'm just saying,
gatekeeping.
like it'd be nice to know some of the extended universe to make sense of what really goes on in between the episodes. So, but go
Yeah, we'll go on.
on.
Anyways, like I said, that's the extent of what my culture was. So I was kind of just exposed to everything that was around me and what was on the radio, what was on TV. It was no holds barred, none of this blackity black things. Although we did watch Roots and we did watch what you call it, Boys in the Hood. So
Roots definitely like every single
all of
episode
them,
that was for school. All right. So,
all parts.
yep.
So there was that, but other than that, there wasn't anything else that we had seen. We had the black talk, the talk for black kids that white people swear doesn't exist, as we tell them what
White
it.
people will swear that slavery doesn't exist.
Let enough time pass, I guarantee you they will.
Oh, you were able to prove slavery existed. Well, you know what? The Irish were slaves and the Irish are white. So there, we're equal.
Because those people, because there are certain people out there who have such a weirdly warped sense of time that they think 100 years is a very long time. It's like that's 1.5 human lifespans.
Why should black people be getting reparations? What about white people? Hmm?
You know what? That's 1.5 lifespans. Okay, we live for a pretty long time. I'm just saying that's not that long. You will almost live to 100.
Every race in America, including slave owners, received compensation, but black folks ain't get a dime. Hmm.
Ain't that some shit? Every single promise broken. 40 acres and a mule. What's that?
How many of us died during your wars and weren't compensated like we were told to, like we were told we were going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Those are just questions to think about. But what you call it? What I'm saying is, yeah, culture wise, I wasn't really exposed to a lot of that. So it came to me while I'm writing another another world, another universe, and I'm like, I'm doing it again. It's become a
Mm-hmm.
habit where all the characters are white, and these characters are all white and fleshed out, and they're really cool characters. This one has this power, this one has this power, this one has this connection to chi. I was still using chi at the time because I wasn't, and this had been right around the time where I had started jumping into African mythology, so I wasn't even aware of a Shay and Ori.
Mm-hmm.
So I was still using chi. Shit, at least I wasn't using chakra. Uh, I don't know how many people keep using chakra for some reason. So when I finally got there and I realized it, everything that I had been doing was a product of what I was exposed to. I was like, okay, this has to stop here. Like, I had finished watching Game of Thrones prior to that, and
Mm-hmm.
all the black characters, they existed, but they were on an island somewhere off screen, and
Mm-hmm.
also they were all pirates, so they were considered, bad by nature. So I was writing the Bastion now, and it had been a medieval type of story, and I realized two things. Number one, doing it again. And number two, black people really don't have like a medieval story, despite the Moors being in England, and also,
Yeah, but if you ask white people, the Moors weren't black.
yeah, those black ass people in armor who were knights with afros in Victorian paintings were absolutely not black. They were just sunburned.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you know, like That's the thing. Like, I hadn't seen a story like that for black characters. Uh, of course, I could be wrong. I mean, there's a lot of stories out there that have been published that aren't, you know, big name stories. But as far as I've known, for all of these medieval, dark goth Victorian themed shows, I'm talking about a ton of them. Claymore, Berserk, uh, what was it? Afro Samurai was back in that era too.
Yeah,
Samurai
Afro Samurai.
Jack, Samurai Jack,
You have the
Game of
upcoming
Thrones.
what's that anime with the dude from Get Out? And sorry to bother you.
Oh, Yasuke. Yeah,
Yasuke, yeah.
yeah, Yasuke. Um, he has a very interesting story too. A very, very interesting story.
Of course, there's always that one person who's like, he didn't really exist, and how do you know he was actually black?
Yeah,
Negating the excerpts where they're like they scrubbed him so hard because they didn't believe his skin was actually,
yeah. Nobunaga, actually, Oda
mm,
Nobunaga actually made him take a bath because he believed his skin was covered in ink because his
yep.
skin was so dark. And come to find out, no, he actually was just black. We do this naturally, bro. All right,
It's all us.
it ain't easy. All right. So yeah, you got Yasuke, that's coming up. At least that's something. But you have all the Meiji era um animes. You have all the Victorian era stuff like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. You have all this stuff happening too.
That's what it's called. The Sibyls, the first prophets
Profit.
of Mami Wata, the theft of African prophecy by the Catholic Church.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So basically, the Bible, a lot of it's taken from African stories. Remember that one African myths podcast we did, and we read one story, and we were like, "Wait, isn't this like that story in the Bible?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You will see a lot of. I think Jonah and the whale was one of that I pointed out, where Jonah lives in the belly of the whale, and I read a story very similar to it, Chip Falamfula, and I forgot what the little girl's name is, but the little girl lives inside the fish's stomach.
Yep.
It communicates with the fish, Chip Falamfula. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I see where that concept came from. You'll see a lot of, artistic theft in old myth. So, you know, I don't I don't take it all to heart. But what was I saying? I was saying what you call it? I hadn't seen a lot of Victorian stuff for black characters. So I started just changing all the characters black. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
change anything else about the characters. I just made them black. And you know what happened?
Personality still the same, but just
Exactly. Nothing fucking happened. They're just black now. And it's like, but at the same time, these characters can now become, I would see them if this story gets big, these characters can become a lot of reference points for people who want to dip their toes in other genres. Because I had talked to my cousin about this. He's an art, not an artist. He's an author, and he had been writing also coming of age stories. The ones I keep saying that I'm sick of because
mm-hmm.
and I'll keep saying this until I turn blue in the face. It was pretty hard. I'm tired of coming of age stories. I'm tired of coming of age stories. Like, seriously, when you feel the creative drive and you feel like you need to write a story about how somebody's parents were killed in a drive-by and you had to grow up hard on the streets, so blah,
I
blah, blah,
mean,
blah.
so here's the thing. I just want interesting stories. I feel like we can write interesting black coming of age stories, but we resort to a lot of tropes such as selling drugs, drive-bys, lower income communities, blah 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 blah. How hard it is to be black.
And then
I
you know
like.
what?
I would love a a black version of The Graduate, where you have this young black kid. Let's say he's played by not Michael B. Jordan. Fuck that guy, but
He'll always be Wallace to me.
but maybe played by give me a young black actor, relatively young
Zendaya.
actor, male
What?
actor.
Sorry, actor.
Yes, male
A
actor.
young black
I know the actor thing is unisex nowadays, but
look, man, you're gonna respect her hustle. I
so
don't know.
someone who could pass
Lakeith
off playing
Stanfield, he's a pretty good actor.
someone who could pass off
A
playing
child.
someone around 20, or
Oh,
because
come on.
the graduate is about this kid, I believe is around 18, 19. It's a classic, by the way, and he's seduced by an older woman,
Hmm. I mean,
and he
look,
falls in love with the daughter, meanwhile still fooling around with older woman who tells him,
we let
hey, look, you
Toby
can't see my
Maguire.
daughter because you're not good enough for my daughter. Now imagine that, like a black version of that, because we rarely discuss how often older black women go after young black dudes. It happens. All right.
I'm not gonna touch that one, but
Oh, you got us the story, huh?
I'm not gonna touch it. No, no,
Ah,
no.
yeah.
Jesus,
But it happens,
it does
when
happen.
have we ever, when's the last movie that discussed that, or that was centered around that? I don't think there's ever been a black movie like that, but it
Right.
happens.
Some interesting stuff in our mythos, or and I don't think necessarily you have to avoid the poverty or whatnot, or avoid all those tropes. But
I'm gonna avoid the poverty. There are no poor black people in my
well,
universe.
what I was gonna say is like, you can use all those old tired ass tropes and make it interesting. Remember, my one of my favorite examples is Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond is supposed to be a futuristic, oh, this is what all those movies back in the day thought the future was gonna look like. And
Hmm.
there was a lot of grimy shit happening in Batman Beyond. Shootings, drug abuse, hypnosis, cults. There was so many interesting
Oh, it's a dark ass show for sure.
there were
Like
so
you
many
can watch
interesting
a
things
random
happening.
episode of that and be like, how did they get away with
Right.
that?
You know what I'm saying? Like Batman Beyond took a lot of those. And if Tara McGinnis was black, I mean, honestly, like the show would have still worked just as well. Like that's what people need to figure out is that, blackness doesn't prevent characters from doing shit. Like it doesn't. So, but you could use those tropes, but I'm tired of black writers not being interesting with it, and they just take the easier route of just, writing what's immediately around them. I mean, as a writer, you have an infinite canvas of what you can do. Like the sky is literally the limit. You can literally write that Ed, Ed and Eddie episode where they took the sun out of the sky and ate it.
That was
You
funny.
you can do that. You can do whatever you fucking want with
But
writing.
let's be honest. Let's be honest here. You also have to expose yourself to other concepts. All
You
right.
do.
The reason why my stories can be out there is because I was exposed to a lot of strange ass comic books and movies and play these different type of video games. So
Mhm.
my mind is immediately going to think, hey, we don't have to stop here. What if we do this instead? What if we fuck around with the reader's head, or what if we have this guy come in and he's from this location, but from a different dimension. Like we
Oh
need
yeah.
more shit like that. We need and again, for me it comes easily because of my personality and
Right.
me thinking I'm better than everybody,
You're fucking
but
weird. Like I just been meaning to tell you this. You are
but
terrible.
for some people feel like they need to see themselves in something first for them to
Right. And
for
it's
them to
all about
feel like it's a
exposure.
possibility.
Right, because it's like, and that's another thing that I wanted to talk about is that people also use media a lot for motivation. There,
Hmm.
there, there are people who go into different scientific fields because they saw their favorite hero was a scientist.
Yep.
You know, the people who wanted to become lawyers because they saw their favorite character was a lawyer, and the fact that black people don't like I can't tell you the last superpower black character that isn't a fucking police officer. Like one that maybe what is Mr. Terrific? He's a scientist, I guess. He makes his no, yeah, he makes his inventions.
Hmm.
Um, but outside of that, I mean, that's like the standard sci-fi trope. Um, I can't really find like interesting jobs for black characters. Like, uh, I don't know.
I mean, just
like a
going, just
coach.
I know a few of my characters. I have one character who's a painter, but he's a pretty toxic individual. He's like this polyamorous painter
Mhm.
who his main chick he wants to stay a virgin. That's his muse. But and for everybody wondering what story this is the last Mother of Egypt. So y'all go out and read that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I always try to create a character that hasn't been done before in some facet, you know?
Right.
Like for starters, my first short story is kind of Conan-esque. You don't have this black type of Conan character, so that was my goal. I wanted to make somebody who was like a barbarian, you
Mhm.
know, little bit intelligent, but who was like, man, I'm just here to conquer, you know.
Right.
And like I said, I'm a huge fan of Conan. I grew up with Conan. I got the Conan video games,
Mhm.
so I never once thought, hey, I need to see a black person in this. You know, I said, you know what, I'll make my own black Conan.
I think that these types of characters are actually pretty important generally. Like they need to be more and more brought to the front.
Like just
Uh,
black types of characters, or
Different diverse types of characters.
okay,
I mean,
diverse
like,
types of black characters. Gotcha.
yeah, like again, I complained earlier about the stoic type of black character who doesn't say anything wrong. He always knows the right thing to say. He's also invented the solution for the problem you were having 20 minutes ago or whatever. This that. And I was like, I feel like this is boring because it takes the fun out of like situations actually being a problem. It takes the fun out
You
of it.
know what character that reminds me of? He's like this smart know-it-all guy, but he's also very problematic,
Who?
and his flaws are very apparent. TJ from Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah.
That's one way of doing a character like that, right?
Right.
Because he was so annoying. Like he knew everything. He could probably solve world hunger, but he was just so annoying. And
Yeah. Aggravating. Yeah.
so he's a
That's me.
flawed character despite his intelligence.
Right. Like something like that. But I feel like not taking a risk is it's much more detrimental to the characters you're writing. Of course, I feel like black writers. I don't want to be contra. Oh fuck it.
Oh, say it,
Yeah,
fucking say it.
black writers should already have a handle on this. Like this shouldn't be something you need to be told. Like in your experiences as a black person across America, you should already be well aware of the flaws within black people. We're not a perfect monolith, all right? We're not a
And
perfect
you
people whatsoever.
exploit them. All right, you exploit them to death.
I mean,
You
yeah,
same black people by creating these characters to make black people stop acting a certain way.
honestly, while that
Just took
may
a puff.
be, while that might be your intention, what you call it?
But you
I don't.
know it works. That one skit with Living Color, the blackity black skit. What was that from Living Color?
Wait, you talking about I'm black,
The
y'all?
no the I think it was one of the Wayans brothers, and maybe I think it was Damon Wayans. He was using the big words, trying to
Yeah.
act
Oh,
all
Oswald Bates,
yeah,
my favorite. Oswald Bates is
dressing it.
hilarious.
And like around that time, they started picking on the pro-black, the Hotep.
Hmm.
We are the true Jews, and
All that because it's
black folks
ridiculous.
started knocking it off. Cause like, damn.
It's ridiculous, but that's the thing. This is what it's all about. Our media does affect our real lives, like I said.
True that.
And up until this point, I mean, there have been a lot of issues with even getting black people on screen, you know, for hero films and whatnot, or just in leading roles. And for some reason, there's still a problem with getting us on screen. And previously, this is talked about a lot, is black people are given roles easily for playing the bad guy or being the robber who gets killed in the next 30 seconds. The black guy dies in the horror film. Uh, you know, it's tough seeing all this because as a black writer, you'll see it. You get affected by it. I know I was. Like,
And now we got this whole trend, thanks Jordan Peele, where people are coming out with these movies about black horror and racism. which again, Jordan Peele didn't invent it, but he kind of popularized it. So
Right.
now we get a whole bunch of movies. Oh no, this takes place in the 1950s or 60s. And while there's racism, there's also a monster in the closet. And I'm
Right.
like, I, that's
You're close. You
it,
know what I mean?
it's
Yeah.
creative, but it's like, why does it still have to rely on white people being involved in racism?
Right. And I feel like going back to that article where they interviewed N.K. Jameson, they actually there's a marketing issue, at least a perceived marketing issue, where they feel like if you don't have a white person in there, how are they going to market it?
That's true. A lot of companies feel that way. A lot of studios feel that way. The most recent example would be Coming to America, not
Mhm.
the second movie, the
The
first
first
movie.
one,
In the first movie, Eddie Murphy talked about how the studio wanted a white character in the film, like a
Louis
white
Anderson.
comedian. Yeah,
Yeah. They wanted him in
but
the
but
film.
yeah, I forgot his name. I
I forgot
just
him too. He wasn't supposed to be relevant.
Yeah, he wasn't even supposed to be in the movie, but Eddie Murphy
Right.
had to pick a white person, so he picked that guy because he thought he was somewhat funny. White comedian coming to America.
Yeah. It was Louis.
Yes, Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall say they were forced to put a white person in Coming to America. Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall say they were forced to cast a popular white actor in Coming to America for the 1988 movie to get made. On Tuesday, the stars of the hit comedy appeared on. Oh,
Right.
this is just a small snippet. I was trying to find
Maurice.
the yeah.
There we go. Yeah, Maurice. I tried to. I forget he was in the film. He had a funny line or two.
Yeah.
Was it this week it's the floors, next
That's
week it's
why
the
I
fries?
do give people like Robert Townsend credit. Meteor Man is a blackety black film. There's two
Hmm.
white characters in it, but they're funny as hell, and they serve a purpose. And
Right.
I believe that was on Robert Townsend. That was Robert Townsend's decision to include them in there, which made sense. You had the top dog, and then you had the white guy on top who was kind of controlling all the gangs.
And that's what it's. There's also white people in Black Panther and Get Out and Us too. They have to be there.
Well, and
But
Get Out, and Get Out, white people had to be there, a major part of it,
right.
and us, not so sure. No,
Yeah.
there didn't need to be white people in us,
But I'm saying like they
and
had to. They we all know that there's like they had to be there. Of course, Get Out. It was the point for them to be there, so that
yep.
one gets a pass. But otherwise, the other ones,
And
they
us,
just
the
had to be
purpose of the though that white family being in there was to show, hey, this middle class black family has the same amount of money as this white middle class black family. So that was kind of the point.
right.
But again, you don't have to show that comparison if you just normalize it by having environments in the film that are upper class and then just having black folks chill.
So do you think we'll ever get out? Like, do you think we'll do you think
Well,
we'll ever get
get
out from
out.
under the idea? No, we're never gonna get out. We're all in the sunken
We're
place.
all in the second place.
But do you ever
Kanye
think
warned
we'll
us.
we'll get out from under the idea that we need to include others in a film that is necessarily focused towards a specific audience, particularly a black film? Like, do you think we're gonna have an
Truth be
all
told,
black film?
truth be told, no.
What? Yeah. Oh, you
The
don't think
reason why I say no is here's the thing.
that? Hmm.
We live in America, all right?
We do. So
So that being said, whiteness is kind of all around us, and when
yeah.
we think about making a film, it's kind of odd to a lot of us to exclude white people because
I
they're
mean,
there, unless we were doing it in a fantasy location or perhaps somewhere in Africa where we could exclude them without there being any controversy among audiences who will go, where are the white people? This film is racist.
I think that, and this is what I talked about the last cast.
Hmm.
What you call it, ownership. owning a production company might be able to alleviate that ability.
Well, I understand that, but I'm talking like the mental aspect of it.
Oh, I mean,
So there
mental.
are a lot, just like when you were creating your characters and you were like, wait, why am I creating a bunch of white characters? You
Hmm?
know, there are a lot of black creators like that who, okay, this default character will be white, this default character will be white, but the main characters will be black. Well, that's nice and all, but why not have them all be black? And it's one of the while this film wasn't made by a black director, but what's the movie? It's the Will Smith movie where Will Smith is cloned, and
Gemini Man.
Gemini Man, right? So Will Smith is like the only black person in that film, and the clone has this surrogate father who is white. He's played by Clive Owen. Let me just double check. I believe his name is Clive. Yeah, Clive Owen. Yeah, he's played by Clive Owen, who is white, and the leading lady, like his sidekick, the older Will, the original Will,
Hmm.
is white as well. And I'm like, why couldn't someone like I'm trying to think of an older black male actor. Why couldn't he replace Clive Owen? But
Paul
I had
Mooney.
to someone like what's that guy?
Morris Chestnut.
Black guy, Mass Effect. He plays in Mass Effect. I can't believe
Space
I'm freaking.
Kanye.
No, it's the guy. I can't. I'm
Sorry,
gonna lose if I
I
don't.
forgot what his name is in Mass Effect. So I always call him Space Kanye.
It's he's an actor, but he also does a lot of great voices as well. He plays the president in Rick and Morty.
Let's see. Hold up. Jacob Taylor.
Morty president.
Jacob Taylor in Mass Effect.
Keith David. Thank
Keith
you,
David.
Keith David.
Okay.
I can't believe.
Oh,
I'm
you could
sorry,
have
Keith
said
David.
Spawn.
I'm sorry, Keith. I don't know him from Spawn. I've never seen Spawn. I saw some of Spawn, but again, I grew up Jehovah's Witness, so
Yeah, you could have. I was like, oh yeah, Keith
But
David
yeah,
was known for
Keith
Spawn too.
David could have played Will Smith's the clone of Will Smith. Yeah, the clone of Will Smith's dad. He could have played him. Nia
What about
Long could have
Denzel
played the.
Washington?
He could have played him too.
Yeah,
But you see my point. It's the same
yeah.
thing with the Hancock conversations that we usually have.
It's a
Like
totally legitimate film.
Don Cheadle could have played the guy helping out Will Smith. But no, Will Smith is like the token Negro. And we have to get out of that token Negro mindset.
Right.
Everybody can be black, all right? Everybody can get that blackness.
So you
Okay.
think it's like I don't know. I feel like it's
Everybody can get
controversial.
blacked.
Like I think I think it's controversial, but at the same time, I feel like we need to move forward being exclusionary in a lot of our projects. But the thing is, the issue is, and this
We
is what
need
I
to
talked about
promote
last time.
exclusion as well. Because Will Smith
Yeah,
knows that he's been in way too many movies with these white women as his love interest. All
right.
right. I
I
love
mean,
you, Will, but come on.
his
And
wife is
trust me,
getting in entanglements.
Margot Robbie, she fine as hell. All right. I get that.
Yeah,
But you've been getting kind of close. I done seen them pictures. I done seen them pictures.
he
All
got
right.
some entanglements in him.
Jada was in some entanglements. So was he. All right. I
Yeah,
saw
so
them pictures with the shirt raised and the nipple. I saw it. I saw them pictures. But you get my point. Like we like that's why I loved when Denzel Washington. I'm not sure if you remember what he said, but Denzel Washington was like, "Look, I'm not going to be kissing no one other than a black woman on film. That's
right.
just policy. Nah, I'm not going to do that to my black female audience. Now respect the fuck out of it. Me, I'll kiss everybody. Lucy Lou, come here.
Money's green to him. Like I said, I get that. Like I said, I think promoting exclusion because it'll strengthen the community personally. But I also said last cast, we need to be part of the owner class in order to get more power over our destiny. Remember when I said that? Remember? You remember
Yeah,
when I
but you're
said that?
talking about 100% ownership. I'm just talking about control.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about control.
Yeah, what control are we gonna
And you
have
ain't
if
gonna flip things around because
what control are
I'm
we
not
gonna
agreeing
have?
and I'm not disagreeing. I'm
Yeah,
saying I understand what you're saying.
coming to
But
America
at the
was
same
forced
time,
to
you can
have a white
at the same
character.
time you can shame studios into having right now. Right, look, right now, white liberal America is playing divide and conquer. Okay,
Yeah,
we got sister over there just self loving.
come
She
on,
could
man.
be with a black man right now. You know that picture that drawing that they
Uh,
took down that Twitter account. They got sister all smooched up by herself. Got the black man in a relationship with white man. How come the black man couldn't been in a relationship with another black man? Huh?
I don't know.
You don't know. Oh, you know. You know.
You're over here saying that someone like Disney slash you know, Pixar and Marvel aren't pressuring people. Like you think they're not pressuring people to have at least one person just wedged in there in an all black
This
project.
this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
You think we can pressure these big studios?
I think we can call them out as a community, yeah, as a culture. If we realize that, hey, look, what y'all we know what y'all doing. All
Mhm.
right. How come we don't get any black on black love? We always gotta get we always gotta get mixed up. Yeah, there are plenty of gay folks in the black community. How come we can't get two black women kissing and rubbing and sucking on each other's titties?
Or two
Can't
black
get
men.
that. Exactly. But
Yeah.
nah, they gotta be in these interracial relationships and they gotta be mixed up in this tomfoolery. That's exactly how we get that one dude who was in Blurcore. I'm not gonna say his name, but that's how we
Okay.
get those kind of dudes who are
Those
like,
type of
my
people.
cucumber don't discriminate.
Right. But I'm telling you, like being part of the owner class allows us to have more power over our destiny. Like I said, in a all black film, I think could be in the future if we get a production
Yeah,
house
but
and
I,
distribution center.
I completely agree with you. My thing is, I still think we need to shame and pressure people, all right, because it's good in the long run to
Oh, it
keep.
absolutely is. Yeah, it is good.
Imagine that dude from Blurred Core owning a black film company.
I mean, I don't think he would own a black anything, to be honest. You know, that's yeah. He supports he supports a Planet Jobin type of black business, if you get what I'm saying. But
I,
what you call but the thing is, that's the thing. I feel like control over our destiny would give us that control, and that's something that we need to move towards. Because well, otherwise we're always going to have somebody saying, "Well, I really respect the blackness on this, but do you think we're going to reach the white audience?"
American
And
Gods.
we're going to say, "Hey, you know who it wasn't for? Do you want to know who it wasn't for?"
This black character is too angry for black America.
He's sending the wrong
Motherfucker.
message to black people. Hey, hey, are you listening?
I'm like, they took the best character off of that show. A
Like,
white soul runner took the best character off of that
right, and
show.
we're gonna keep running into those situations. And to be honest, these people have more money than you can even count in your lifetime. So they're not gonna
To
listen.
be honest, keep in mind, American Gods it was created by a white man, but even
Yeah.
the white dude disagreed with it. He was like, "No, what the."
Oh yeah, Mr. Nancy. At least so far as I am in the book, he hasn't died yet.
Oh, that's right. You've been reading the book, yeah.
Yeah.
Now there are differences between the book and the television series, but yeah, I love the book too.
Right. So, like I said, there are things that we tailor towards our own audience, and as we said earlier, it could
Just before I forget, I don't mean to cut you off, but
go
I
for it.
also want to point out that he wrote his not only his character but the characters of color on American Gods.
Mhm.
That's a big part of the reason why I'm so angry at that showrunner.
I mean, it's just sending the wrong message to black people. I mean, when you tell them, you should be angry that you were slaves and all that. I mean, I don't want you to be angry. Now, do you want people to be angry? No, man. See, look, see, happy thoughts, happy slaves.
We write these characters for them and they profit off of it.
Right.
and then they kick us off if we go too far. That's what I hate.
And you know my policy. I'm not into shaming. I don't care. All right. I don't beg the outsiders. All right. The thing is, the only reason that I have to do it right now is because it's the only option. I don't like
Mm-hmm.
begging the outsiders. I don't like saying, hey, consider my point of view. Hey, treat me like a human. I don't like doing that. I don't like doing the politicians either. I don't
Like
like
I
doing
said,
it.
I feel for Orlando Jones, and I feel for the dude who plays Cyborg. Like that, just
Ray Fisher,
imagine
yeah.
getting into that role, Ray Fisher. Just imagine getting into that role. He's always going to be the dude who plays Cyborg. I don't care what roles he take afterwards. He's going to be the dude who plays Cyborg.
Right.
And I just feel for these people because they put their heart and soul into black characters and people of color,
And you
and
know how they get
they
treated?
built them
They
up, and
get,
then yep, they
they
built
get
them up, and they just
same
either
thing with John Boyega. Like he got shuttered. Like
John Boyega was a fanboy during
he got
filming
shafted.
those movies, and then when they did him dirty, he was like, I'm so fucking done with Star Wars. Like
And
all of
that's
those
when
actors were like, nah, we good, we good. Y'all treating us like Sid. Kelly Marie Tran, y'all treated her like Sid. All right. Y'all didn't make no public statement, no announcement when
right.
people were throwing slurs and harassing her, sending death threats. Disney did nothing. All right. But let Gina Carano say one bad thing about the Jews, and
Again, I'm not trying to get assassinated, so I didn't even say that. Really can't.
anyway. But
That's
yeah,
it.
like I
But
said,
yeah, yeah,
and
like black writers need to take control of this, and it's also going to be. This is also something else I need to like. I talked about in the group, but there is another aspect to this because I'm very much aware that there are thousands of black writers out there, but these ideas aren't being marketed. Right, there is an audience out there to be
or
bought.
they're being marketed in a very amateurish way.
Right, they're not being, and a lot of people take pride in this. They're trying to market it themselves. They're doing their Kickstarters and whatnot. And sometimes it's successful. Sometimes it isn't.
You know how many creators pop up in my DMs like, "Hey, share this post I made," and I'm like,
Right.
Nigga, I shared like 3 posts you made like a week ago. Like you got 4 or 5 more coming. Like, at what point do you put money into AdSense
Right. Exactly. And
or
that's the
Facebook
thing.
ads?
And that's the thing. Like it takes more than just creating and then trying to spread the word organically. It really does take more than that. Unfortunately, not all eyes are in your direction. So what I suggested uh, was getting with people who have experience in marketing to get these ideas pushed even further, and that may even mean them being to other audiences other than Black people, which is fine. I think it's fine for non-Black people to buy Black work and even critique it on certain levels, as long as they don't.
I didn't say critique.
I
I
don't
just
care
said
who. Look, I think my work is as good as anybody else's. So if you want to critique it, critique it. I don't care. Like, I feel honored if you feel like you can compare my work to something you would consider.
okay, but you know how white people critiques it.
I mean, with a lack of
Why is Gold
view
Will's
on.
comic so political?
Oh man, I mean that's not entirely true, but I get what you're saying. Like the layman person is who lacks the POV and lacks the perspective, of a Black person may get confused at why certain things matter. Like why do the Mahijans in the Bastion get treated the way they do and are sent to a land to go die?
hmm
Like why do they get treated like this? Man, that just seems kind of random. I know, right? It's crazy. It's almost like they're an
But you see my
outgroup.
point. Like I agree with you. Money is money, but at the same time,
I don't mind if they critique my work. I critique their work all the time. I don't care if you critique my shit. Because there are going to be people who get the messages and there are going to be people who don't. Like Black Panther, there was a lot of white people who didn't understand what Killmonger was. They didn't understand why Killmonger was such a villain. They're just like, he just hates white people. Like, what kind of Black person is this? And Black people like myself were like, he's a fucking Hotep. He was a cartoon character on purpose. they made him look ridiculous because like we don't like that type of person. We know
And
what Killmonger was, but
funny
without
about
their
that is
perspective,
I actually hated that about him, is that they made him
a
be
cartoon.
so a cartoon. They could
Yeah.
have actually developed more depth to his
And,
character, but
and that's the thing. A lot of people were like, "Man, he acted so bad. He acted so." I was like, "You notice everybody else in the film was pretty good, and then just Michael B. Jordan is off the walls. They did it on
that's the thing. Michael B.
purpose."
Jordan acts like he's a Bond villain, and then that's the thing. The James Bond movies actually influenced the Black Panther movie, and
Right.
when I read that, I was like, okay, I can see it. I
Yeah,
can see it
exactly.
now.
He was a Saturday
Like
morning
that's why I
cartoon.
say I can't complain
I
when
loved it.
your intention is like that. You know,
Yeah,
when you intend to do something like that, I'm like, okay,
I
you
picked
got
up on
me.
it
You got me.
immediately. I was like, "Yo, this dude is fucking wilding." Jesus.
I'm here for the
When
throne.
he slapped the shit out of her, I was like, "Yo, he is fucking going off." Like that was the thing. He was to show how destructive that mindset is to the internal community. He was literally a fucking cartoon, and a lot of people didn't get it because they don't have the perspective. Right? I
Yeah,
don't
but
care.
a lot of black folks also agreed with him, which is
I
scary.
don't get that. Oh my god. I thought Ryan Coogler made it very clear, and that there was some, but those are the same people who were like Thanos was right. I was like, oh, you know what? Forget it. I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. But I guess that also
I
it
hate
it
it.
it it uh it agrees with you when you said some people just won't get it, you know.
Right. I don't care if you don't get it personally. Like, interview me. I'll come out and I'll explain this shit to you like a 3-year-old. Interview me. I'll bring it out. I don't mind explaining my work because it's fun. It's fun to do it. Zack Snyder does it all the time, and that's actually something I respect about him. But he
Zack Snyder does it when people don't want him to do it.
Zack Snyder does it because he's not very good at storytelling, and people don't get it because he doesn't know how to, foretell anything. Yo, Martian Manhunter was in Man of Steel. You didn't tell me.
But
You
he had
didn't
the
give me any hint.
storyboards. He had the storyboards ready.
Right. They're
I was
in
going to
your notes,
reveal it
Zack
in Man
Snyder.
of Steel 2.
Reveal it.
Look. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about Zack Snyder. Like I said, I respect him because he's just the creative. All right.
Mhm.
Not all creatives are perfect, but I don't want him to stop. I want him to keep going.
I
All right.
absolutely respect him. And you know what? That same way you feel about Zack Snyder is exactly how I feel about Eminem. So, either way, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's the face. Good. I wanted you to do that. There you go. All right. So, anyways, like I said, I don't care if they don't understand what I'm doing. All right. Like I said, ask me about it. All right. Part of my job is to make sure you get it. And if you didn't get it or you're unsure on something, that's fine. All right. Ask me. But the point is, my work will stand as my work. I don't mind if you critique it. I actually prefer more people critique it. Give me something to improve on. All right. But it can't be critiqued if no eyes
Eminem
are
made
on
a
it.
tape saying black women were dumb.
Oh,
Zack
here he goes.
Snyder made
Here he goes.
Cyborg a black superhero, the center of a huge Hollywood blockbuster. All right. Do not compare the two at all. Now you may continue. Okay. We ain't gonna have that here. All right. We ain't gonna have that.
You
All
was
right.
holding that shit in
I
for
don't know.
all
I don't know how
for
you
all
can
the
forgive a
listeners.
white man for saying black chicks only watching money
For
because they're
all,
dumb. You know, white people
oh
should stick
man,
with white people and black people stick with black people because
like
you
I
know
said,
white women
you
are
should have seen
better.
the way he was holding that shit in.
Meanwhile, his
He is
wife is
going on.
cheating
He's
on
still
him.
doing it.
He made a song saying, "Yeah, you fuck other people and I fuck other people, so you're a proud cuck." What the fuck? So they ain't on the same level, all right? Oh
Okay,
no. Okay,
nigga,
go on,
nigga,
continue,
nigga,
continue.
shut the fuck up. All right, ain't nobody listening to you. All right, all right. Like I said, there needs to be more of an approach to marketing. Like a lot of black creatives need to take marketing a lot more seriously. Like even if it's your like hobby thing, if you want your work out there, you need to approach people who understand marketing.
This nigga made a song about catching an
Oh
STD from his
shit!
wife.
Damn, he's still going.
Drips.
he's
Over.
undefeated.
Go on. I'm good.
Are you
No
sure?
more.
Do you
No
have that
more
shit out of your
Eminem
system?
slander for the rest of the podcast. Yeah, I'm good.
He fucking hates Eminem. That's why I do it.
I don't hate Eminem. I just
he does.
Go on.
All right. Yeah,
Go on. I'm waiting.
Like those are one of his two triggers. All right. The
I'm
other
waiting.
trigger is saying that the sequel
Star
trilogy
Wars
is actually good. Yeah. Like
I'm willing to fight over both.
like it never fails, folks. I promise you. We've had a ton of conversations outside of this podcast.
Go
never
on.
fucking fails to get this man heated.
Go on. People just trying to start shit with me for no reason. I'm in my zone right now. I'm meditating.
But you wish you had your pen now, don't you? You bitch. What was I saying? Oh yeah, approach marketing more seriously. If you want to get your work out there, it has to reach eyes. I mean, all eyes. Like
all eyes got to be on you.
All eyes matter. You know, so you're gonna have to approach it with a different approach. I've seen several successful Kickstarter campaigns, but truthfully, it's gonna take a little bit more than that, because a successful campaign doesn't always give you everything you need to get your project out there. There have been plenty successful Kickstarter campaigns that notoriously underdelivered or failed outright, or just went quiet.
Like that Mega Man knockoff video game.
That's exactly what I was referring to. Mighty Number 9.
Okay, we had the same thing in mind. Like that was
Exactly.
the biggest letdown.
Right. Like they completely underdelivered. So, you know, getting the Kickstarter out there and getting people to donate to your Kickstarter is good, but you have to follow up afterward. All right. It's going to take a little bit more effort to get your work out there. So
one thing I like about Unique is that they're not just doing comic books, they're doing animations, you know, they're talking about movies. Like that's the thing. You gotta get me invested. You gotta give me a bigger picture of things. And going back to Zack Snyder, that's how Zack Snyder got the Snyder Cut made. Like he was talking wild about everything that he had planned, and he got the fans hyped. He's like, we were robbed. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut, and they just started doing that.
Yeah, it was over and over again,
and
like when you get a movement behind you, that creates momentum for your project that will carry over past your initial release, and hopefully you can keep it up. You know, Unique Universe didn't.
People are begging for a sequel to Justice League right now. Like
they're never gonna get it, and that's a good thing. But that's the thing. That is the effect of what good marketing campaign can do for you. You know, Unique Universe pushed the app, they pushed the website, they pushed their comics more and more and more. And Black Sands was a little more aggressive in insulting people, but they kept their shit
specifically
going.
White people.
Yeah. Yeah,
you
basically.
Think these crackers will be
Hollywood hates this film.
You think they wouldn't be burning in Egypt? We're gonna tell you the real stories of kings and queens.
Right. Yeah, so that is the main goal, though.
Have a meme with a white man on fire. This is what white people would be like if they were in Egypt.
Right.
I'm like, I felt offended. I wasn't even white. I was like, God damn, man.
Yeah, he was.
You ain't got to sell the shit to me like that.
Right. I was gonna buy the shit anyway, but all right, cool.
I could see them going after Asians. Like, oh, you think that the chinky eyes are just for Asian people? Nah, we been had them eyes. Ethiopia, you been had them eyes.
I was like not on board with it, but I'm glad he's successful. He's still going strong. So you know what? It is what it is. But anyways, I think it's about time that we wrap this up. So any final closing thoughts?
Be black, be proud, branch out, you know, write what you love, not what you know.
And to bridge on for that, try to know more. Read new stories. Read something you say, that's whack. I don't think I'll be into that. Who knows? You might be. You're not in the boxes you think you are. All right.
Maybe you need to ask that one goth chick about her favorite movies. She may have an art house film that you would be interested in.
Like you never know what you're interested in until you're exposed to it. So go out there, make sure you continue writing. We love you guys, and we're out of here.
We don't love y'all. Fuck y'all.
And I was saying that because I'm obligated to actually. Yeah, sorry. Peace.